Hi guys, I'm Mama Bear to Many. I am mom to 15. I am just going to give you a little tidbit of something that I do on occasion. I spoke before about different meals that I would do, and then I would have like a bunch of meals afterwards, and that really helps our family. If I don't have a lot of freezer space, that really helps with the budget, as well as not having the freezer space. This is something else that I do on occasion that doesn't take up freezer space and just helps me get ahead of the week. So I'm going to share that with you now. So we just got out of church and we took the kids to the playground. It started raining. My husband's taking the kids actually to go watch a movie. And I just thought I'd take a couple minutes. I had taken out a bunch of meat to make room because the kids had brought some meat up from our other house. And so I decided that I would try to cook up some of the meat that we had to prep for the rest of the week. Now, this is not for the rest of the week, but I'll share with you how much ahead I actually will be getting for this. Okay, so if you remember in that grocery haul that I did, I have 2 hams in there. It is steamy in there. So I have 2 of those large hams sitting in the oven there. And so we will eat off those. We will eat off of those for today. And then I will take the rest of the meat off of that. And then I will put that in the fridge, probably in 2 other portions. And then I will take the 2 bones and we'll make a big old pot of split pea soup, which would make 2 more meals. Then I'll take the 2 portions of the ham and use that for meals. I will share that in this video, although I don't know what it is yet. I'm thinking maybe potato soup with some ham and then something else. I'm not quite sure. And then I'll show you what else. So I have this big old roaster. I think one of you purchased this roaster for us. I am so thankful. It is gorgeous. It is very large, which I appreciate. And the insert here comes out, so it makes it for easy cleaning. And you also has a window in here. I don't know if you can see. I'm kind of like above the cabinets. There's a window in there so you can see how your food is cooking. Pretty neat. So I just put in here 3 packages of drumsticks, which we all know drumsticks are inexpensive. And then I have 6 pints or 3 quarts of homemade barbecue sauce. So I'm going to cook all those up, and I probably will eat those cold with something. So I will make those and then I will put them in containers and put them in the fridge, and then I'll think of some sides that we can have with that. I know we have some salad left, so we could have like a big salad and chicken on the side if we went somewhere. We could also do like drumsticks and baked potatoes, which we could throw in the microwave or in the oven, make a quick meal. So there's plenty of opportunity for those drumsticks, but they'll already be cooked. So I'm cooking all that together. I have a big pot there ready for mashed potatoes. I think that's 10 pounds of potatoes. So yeah, we will have plenty of food over the next couple of days. And really, I'm only just cooking right here, like the main bulk of the meat cook. Okay guys, so we ate off of those 2 hams, and now we're just going to use some of the meat to make different things. So I have a daughter who wants to help in the kitchen, and this is ready with a cup of coffee. That's my getting ready. And I started this thing right here. This is a bottle washer, and I am going to do a video all about this at another time. And then she is cutting up all of this ham into small pieces because we're going to make a couple different meals with all of that ham that's left. We also have 2 bones in the fridge. I'm going to put 1 in the freezer and then have 1 in the fridge to make split peas. So we ate that on Sunday, and then Monday, it was yesterday, we actually went to Old Orchard Beach and took a little longer than expected, so I was racking my brain on the way back. So we ended up taking out I have some canned beans in the basement. We took those canned beans, we dumped them out, drained them, warmed them up, and then we had chips. So we made kind of like chips, beans, salsa, cheese, all the stuff on top of chips for supper. That's what we ended up eating. So we didn't eat anything like the chicken or the ham from that. But we could have very easily taken the chicken out and then warmed up some rice, but it was, yeah, that's what I felt like. So that's what we did. So we still have 2 things or 2 meals worth of chicken, as well as all this ham and both the bones. So here is the bowl of the meat. I have a pan out here, and we are going to make soup in this pot, and it won't use all of that. I'll probably use about half of it. and then I'll have another meal. This is life. Cleaning bottles, eating apple and peanut butter for snack, drinking coffee, giving meds. All right, so we are going to, my daughter has 8 potatoes and she's gonna cut those up, and then we're gonna cut up an onion as well. So here I just have 8 potatoes and 1 onion and some coconut oil, and I turned that on and we're gonna cook that down a little. So my daughter made some gluten-free biscuits, and then she's gonna make some regular biscuits as well, and we're gonna throw those in the oven. And this is the potatoes ready to, so we're just putting half of that ham in there. Probably good. So we just added a bunch of that ham in here, and we're going to cook that down for a minute. 2 cans of corn. Real life, I have a hot mess on the counter, but that's okay. 2 cans of corn, and then I'm going to add a quart of broth. We did end up getting some broth from Maine, Maine. So I will add that to this. Hey, sunshine. Gonna stir this all in. Looking lovely. So I'm just adding some arrowroot powder. I did not measure, probably between 1/2 and 3/4 of a cup. Okay, so this is like this, no real lumpies, and I'm gonna get some milk. So I just have some milk here. I'm going to put in about 1/2 gallon and let that cook and thicken up. All right, so I'm adding Abdoa. And I have salt. And then I have pepper over here, which I'm going to do. I actually kind of like pepper liberally in this. I'm not a super like wanting things to taste like pepper, except in like my white sauces. I like a peppery twist to that. So that is where we're at right now. We'll let that cook and thicken up and then give it a taste. There we go, the soup's all done. So this is what's left over after everyone was eating this for lunch. So there is a good, we could probably get away with having this with biscuits and then like another, like a side salad or something for another. Okay guys, so in the following video, my daughter is putting together clips because she is making split pea soup for lunch. Split pea soup is so affordable. I mean, a bag of split peas is between $1 and $2. We use a couple bags, but still a super cheap meal. Then we're just adding whatever root vegetables that we have. Today, it's just going to be onions, potatoes, and carrots. And so we're adding those root vegetables in. If you wanted to do it from your garden, you could do it from your garden. They don't have to be fresh. You can even use canned ones if you'd like. So overall, that is so affordable. Potatoes and carrots are very cheap at the grocery store. So this whole dish is so inexpensive. So we're just boiling down the leftover hand bits, the part that most people just throw in the trash. And then we're putting our split peas into this pot with the ham bone. This is going to give it so much flavor, guys. Make sure you're doing this so that you can get the whole flavor. I think so many of us have gotten used to just using boneless, skinless meat, but the flavor is really in the bones. That's where the broth comes from. That's where the marrow comes from. So many nutritive ingredients come from the actual bone. So to be cooking the bone and your veggies, like the potatoes and the carrots here, inside of that bone broth is just so delicious. Now she's taken the ham bone out just with a pair of tongs, and she's going to cut up. See, there's the rest of the material. She's just going to cut up the hunks of ham in order to put that in the soup as well. So the potatoes, the split peas, everything's all done in that soup pot. We're just going to throw up the tidbits of ham into it. You would not even need to do this if you had all adults. You could serve it right with the bone in there. So we're just going to season that now. So we have some salt and some pepper. You season it the way that you like to have it. If I had a bay leaf, I'd probably throw a bay leaf in there as well because that's so yummy. But you season however you want to season. It doesn't need a lot of seasoning because you've already cooked it in that delicious bone. Split pea soup is actually one of most of my children's favorite soups. So it is so affordable and so yummy. I can't wait for it. Yum. So I also share this in my meals prep video where I do in detail these two gorgeous quiches, which have ham in them and a bunch of different vegetables. So if you haven't checked out that video yet, make sure you do that. I just wanted to put that in the ham video because this is where other bits of that ham went. So yes, it's quick, affordable quiches, and those will do 4 meals for our family because those pans are massive. Those would be done for breakfast, but you could definitely eat it for supper as well, or lunch, whatever you guys want to eat. So we would eat those with fruit usually on the side, but you could also do that with some bread and a fruit, or however you want to eat them. But that would do about 4 meals for our family, which would be about a 9 by 13 and a half of one. Because this pan fits like 3 9 by 13s into it. So guys, that's about it for our ham day. We ended up getting 1 meal of eating the 2 hams. Then we ended up getting 2 meals of the split pea soup. And then we got a meal and a half of the ham and potato soup, so I'll count that as 1 meal. And then we ended up getting 4 other meals of the quiche. So that was 8 meals altogether, and then a little bit left over for a lunch for some people. So 8 meals out of those 2 hams. That's how you stretch it all out like Mama Bear. And I'm sure there's some of you ladies out there who do the same exact things. It's a blessing that I learned to do that years ago when my children were young, and I'm just moving back to those techniques because they work. That's just how it is. They work.